touching on the top picks for this NFL DFS Sunday night showdown between the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions. So at the end of this video, guys, quick story time and kind of takes on tonight's game. I want to keep the start of this video to, well, the DFS. So starting out with my Green Bay Packers. I say my because I'm a Wisconsin, resident. Always been cheering for the Packers, so go Pack, go. Anyways, this is obviously going to be a good spot for the Green Bay Packers in general. They get the Detroit Lions, which we know they've been terrible defensively. Aaron Rodgers is going to be a good spot going against the Detroit Lions. The question is, is he too priced up to pay up for him? And I would say yes. Okay. The thing with this Green Bay Packers offense is it's literally designed to be efficient. Okay. Rodgers was close to getting another touchdown last week. That didn't happen. And the previous week as well. That didn't happen. I mean, this is week 18, the last week of the season. We kind of know who they are. His best performance thus far this season has been 20 DK points. And he has played good. No one's going to deny that. But DFS wise, should he be the highest priced player on the slate? No, I think we can say that. I think it makes a lot more sense to gamble on Christian Watson going off. Okay, Christian Watson, obviously 5 targets last week, didn't really do much. He's close. The big plays are almost there. And I would say he's kind of due for a big game. Just looking at it, people would say a little bit fluky with the touchdowns. I would say no, those were by design. Just the way in which they all kind of came together at the same time was a little bit fluky, but no, the touchdowns and whatnot, they're by design in the sense that they are setting up design plays for them to be big plays. So if I had to bet on anyone, breaking the slate or who has the best chance to break the slate, it's pretty easy to say it would be Christian Watson, So he would be the one player I'm most going out of my way to play in the captain spot, but at the same time, I don't know exactly if that's a lock. I mean, they do spread the ball around. The Packers are one of the teams that really anyone can eat. It really just depends on where they see the weakness. More likely than not, they're going to see in the passing game. I think Allen Lazard is going to be a good option as well. He has been just super consistent really over the past 2 years. Really has only had 4 bad starts over the past 2 years, and 3 of them have come this season. So yes, is he a lock? No. But is he someone that's going to be on the field a lot? He's been playing about 90% of the snaps. He's going to get a decent amount of targets, most likely. Obviously, this matchup is something that we like. And he's a reliable target as well. So Allen Lazard, I do want to be playing as well. And kind of, if I'm not playing Christian Watson in the captain spot, I think I want to be playing Allen Lazard in the captain spot just because he is on the field a little bit more than Christian Watson. Christian Watson only going to get about 80% of the snaps most likely. So that's a route that we can go. Romeo Doubs does feel like he's priced up a little bit for a guy that's going to get 50 to 60% of the snaps. But at the same time, he's looked good since he's returned from injury. So also wouldn't be shocking to see him have a good game against this terrible pass defense. Tanyan played 62% of the snaps last week, which was his most. He has been someone that's been playing about 55% of the snaps. Does seem just like a lucky touchdown type play. You're not going out of your way to play him, but maybe you end up on him, you can play him. I think Randall Cobb is a very interesting play. At the same time, the price point's a little bit too high to really consider him, but he has been playing about 40 to 50% of the snaps. So not someone that's going to go, that is going to be someone that is going to gain some points, but that's really it for the Packers. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. We get into the running backs for them. You got Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon, and this is the difficult part here, guys. Aaron Jones the last 3 weeks, 56, 48, or 38 and 40% of the snaps. AJ Dillon, however, 37, 58, and 46% of the snaps. It's a big question mark because obviously they need Aaron Jones to be healthy. And AJ Dillon's looked good lately. So Jones has both Dillon has earned himself more playing time for one, and Jones has been banged up. So it's kind of nice that Jones has stepped up because then they don't have to force Aaron Jones into more playing time. I don't know if we need to play them. In theory, you would think, these would be the plays. Then obviously if we're playing 3 of them, we want to go Rodgers. But Aaron Jones can break the slate. AJ Dillon can get 2 easy touchdowns. I do expect, Jones to get a target kind of in the end zone or a play that's designed to get him the ball in the passing game that, is kind of a touchdown design play, a big play. So it is risky there. Now we get into the Detroit Lions. You would think that the Packers would be able to play well defensively, but that being said, Detroit has been good offensively this season. And really, it just depends on how Jared Goff plays. Jared Goff has thrown for multiple touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, 3 out of the last 4 games. And the only team he didn't do that against was who? The Jets, a team that is great defensively, a team that we have not been chasing at all because of that. And the Panthers, they're a pretty good defense, was able to do that against them. The thing with this is a middle of the road matchup. Earlier on this season, they faced each other, 12.3 DK points. Okay. I would say that that's kind of the projection, 10 to 17 DK points. I would say he does still hold more upside than Rodgers, but at the same time, I think Rodgers has a safer floor. It's kind of a weird thing like that. If the Lions need Jared Goff to throw more, I do think he can get garbage time points is really what it comes down to. And then the biggest other question on the slate is, what do we do with St. Brown? Because obviously Jaire Alexander has been really a stud lately. Shut down Justin Jefferson last week, who you could argue is basically on pace to be the best receiver ever. Just been dominating since he's gone to the NFL. That might be a hot take for someone, but some people. But I'm just saying Justin Jefferson, pretty elite. St. Brown, pretty elite as well. Can he be hindered? That's the biggest question. Can his production be hindered by Jaire Alexander? I would say yes. And you look at Week 9, he struggled. And, Rasul Douglas has also been playing a little bit better as of recent as well. So, maybe St. Brown is not as much of a lock. Maybe he's just someone, if we can afford to play him, we do so. So basically, maybe in a lineup you go with Dobbs in the captain instead of Christian Watson, like if you want to, then that's a way in which we could play St. Brown. Now, I do think the Lions are going to attack the Packers with their rushing game, or they're going to try to, which is also a big question mark. It's basically the exact same thing as the Green Bay Packers, where like you got Jamal Williams, who like AJ Dillon, he's played like 31, 24, and 46% of the snaps is Jamal Williams' snap share. And he has been someone that's been very touchdown dependent, very big play dependent, but he has been producing, there's that little weird stretch in there. And then prior to that, just been really consistent. So very much a touchdown dependent play, but it wouldn't be shocking to see him have a good game. Did have a good game against the Green Bay Packers in Week 9 as well. I don't mind him, but then you got Swift, who Swift has been playing more snaps, played 56% of the snaps 2 weeks ago, and then went off last week, 27 points. And that was against the Chicago Bears, only had to play 35% of the snaps. So I think a lot of people are going to default to Swift today. And I'm not saying that's wrong. Like, he's going to get work in the passing game. He is probably, and this sounds weird given the amount of snaps that he's playing, he is probably my favorite Lions player. And like I said, that just sounds weird because I am someone that loves to chase a floor. I love chasing the snaps, but when he's on the field, he's getting targets, he's getting touches, like he has a high usage rate. From there, I find this very strange, from there, I find DJ Chark's price point very strange, kind of. It's the fact that DJ Chark is priced basically the same as Dobbs. DJ Chark is someone that's going to play about 76% of the snaps and has had a nice safe floor since he's returned from injury. He does look good. really one bad game against who? The Jets, a team that Jared Goff struggled against. And just logically speaking, if Jaire is shadowing St. Brown, or if they're just putting more defensive attention on St. Brown, you would think the receiver number 2, DJ Chark, would be the guy to go with. And I kind of like that logic. So he'd be the player I go with. And look at this lineup path, guys. This really works out well. This is a lineup path that I enjoy right now. Now let's keep going with the Lions so I can show you guys my other thoughts. Brock Wright, he's playing about 60% of the snaps. The thing with the Lions is that their tight ends, since the TJ Hawkinson trade, are averaging over a touchdown per game. So I feel like we do want to target one of them. And maybe this is where we get unique. Maybe not in a cash build. I think this is going to be a strong cash build. But maybe that's where we go like Brock Wright in the captain spot, just hoping that he has a multiple touchdown game or scores a touchdown. You could go Shane Zylstra, and make sure you do Shane and not his brother, but he had a 3 touchdown game. Okay. I'm not by any means saying go crazy with this, but you could see a situation in which one of the tight ends has a multiple touchdown game again, because it's just happened a decent amount. So I don't mind that approach as well. So now just switching up, guys, to get into kind of my hot takes. I find it very strange. Well, start with story time. This game reminds me a lot of kind of the Green Bay Packers, Chicago Bears division game about 6 years ago now, I think, or so. Maybe more than that, maybe 7, 8. It's the one where John Kuhn, makes a low block. Randall Cobb scores a touchdown late. It's just a fun story. I remember I was working in college over winter break, and me and my buddy had to work the same shift together. So where I worked was at a place in which it's like a tourist destination. So a lot of people from Chicago area were actually coming there. The place I worked was in Wisconsin, but close to the Illinois border. Anyways, a lot of Chicago fans are coming in, talking about the game, and me and my buddy decided to record it. And so it's just funny, hearing all these screams and whatnot coming from the bars that were there. And we didn't know what they meant. We didn't know if they were Packer fans or Bears fans. And it was just such a fun experience, really, honestly. Just going back and then recording it or watching the game over again, and no one spoiled it, which was awesome. And so it kind of feels like that, right? The Lions are playing for a playoff spot, the Packers are playing for a playoff spot, and this goes into my hot take. Even if the Lions aren't playing for a playoff spot, it still is a fun game, because honestly, I would say that if the Lions aren't playing for a playoff spot, they're actually more dangerous. The Lions are the one team in which I feel like because of that, they'd be a little bit more motivated, a little bit more of a FU game, if that makes sense. And then also they'd be playing more loose. Like they have nothing to lose. They wouldn't have to be, oh, it's a must-win game to make the playoffs. Like that pressure would be off of them. So I would actually think it benefits them. So a lot of Seahawks fans and whatnot, NFL people were saying, oh, it's not fair. The NFL wants the Packers to, make the playoffs. I'm like, that's just not true. And honestly, it probably hurts the Packers more that they did this. I don't know. I'm curious as to your guys' thoughts on it. And also, me and my buddies were already chatting about this. Kind of a funny thing. We already got the game figured out. Okay. So they were saying, oh, the NFL's rigged. Joking talk here, but okay. So if the NFL's rigged, we know exactly how this game is going to go. The Packers, should probably blow out the Lions, not blow them out, but the refs are going to keep it close in the favor of the Lions. So the Packers can't blow out the line. And then they're going to take it one play too far where the Lions get the lead late in the game. And then there's going to be a Christian Watson deep ball PI that is questionable that they call. And then it's going to lead to a chip shot field goal for the Green Bay Packers. After that, after the Packers win, there's going to be a lot of tweets showing the ref doing a Lambo leap into the stands. And that's how it's going to go. And actually, I have a fun tweet to post if the Packers do win. Actually, if they don't, it's going to work either way. So be on the lookout for that. I think it'll be funny. I think people will enjoy it. But that's it. NFL talk. It's fun stuff and good way to end the season. All right. Best of luck to you guys on the slate. Let's have a good slate. And as always, let's keep cashing.